absolute chaos here in London. I just arrived after a 9-hour flight, literally just got dropped off of the Uber right now.
I'm here because this is wrong. It's a time bomb ticking.
Stop the boats!
These migrant hotels are predominantly comprised of men.
How am I going to walk the streets with my kids on my own? How am I going to feel safe?
Recently, the government has been bringing in people from Afghanistan who are 22 times more likely than British nationals to actually be convicted for sexually assault.
Get a flight over here from France.
Yeah.
£25.
To get a boat, £5,000.
They're going to risk their lives
For £5,000.
£5,000 per person.
Who's paying that? The French and British government.
Stop calling us far right. Protect our women and children.
I don't think it's far right to love your country.
This isn't what I was expecting when I booked a Jet2 holiday.
I wasn't expecting there to be an active protest right now, but there is, and there's a lot of police presence, so let's go see what's going on.
It's not about right or wrong or left. It's about right and wrong. This is not about the colour.
Keeping our children safe.
This is not about the colour. It's about our daughters' rights.
Safety to our families, our children, our relatives, everyone, our loved ones.
It's not about any colour.
Not about black or white, Muslim or Catholic. We're a different thing. We want peace.
We are here for a peaceful protest. I don't need to be here because the establishment will protect me if I do anything wrong. But I am here because that's wrong. I am here because this is wrong. I am only here to save my kids' future, your kids' futures. I took asylum in this country 3 decades ago. I ran from save these people. And today they are here to us again. No more. We are here. I'm not running again. No more. They are here to kill you, you. Sorry for my language, but this is the truth. You should know that because I am from the same land they're coming from. They are barbarians. They are barbarians. They will pretend they are good. They will pretend they are very happy, good-faced man, sir, madam. Once they have got established, they will you. They are the time bomb. It's a time bomb ticking. Believe me, it's coming from the brown man from the same land. It happened to us in Afghanistan. It will happen here again. Believe me or don't believe me. I am here for future of my kids, your kids. I have to repay back the country who gave me everything. Thank you.
Holy shit. I feel like crying, like my hands are shaking. That's crazy.
Could you give me a basic understanding of what's happening here? Like, someone with no idea.
The Epping Hotel was kind of an epicenter of these demonstrations. So what we're currently seeing on social media is a suggestion that we should have a national demonstration for protests from each constituency that houses illegal migrant hotels. So out of the 650 constituencies, 52 constituencies out of that collective, predominantly the constituencies that are the vulnerable, that are the veterans, that are the elderly, they're the ones that are housing these economic migrants in local business hotels.
What are you drinking?
I am screaming, stop calling us far right, protect our women and children.
I asked, what are you drinking?
What am I drinking?
Yeah.
Water. Yeah, it's in a fancy can.
It looks like beer.
Does it?
Yeah.
It's definitely not beer. It's definitely vodka.
I see people drinking beer outside, and so...
It's definitely vodka. It's not beer.
Is it actually water? It's pink.
No, it's vodka.
Yeah, I mean, in the US, they don't really just drink in the street.
No, they're doing it all wrong. That's the best place to drink, is in the street.
That makes a lot
As you can tell.
So the British public, and especially the local residents of Epping, after an incident which involved the 14-year-old being inappropriately touched by an economic migrant that had only been here for less than a week.
Immigrants have come across in their boats. The statistics, the rapes, the sexual assaults have gone up vastly.
Yeah, stop the boats.
Yeah.
And leave our kids alone.
And so
Save our children and save our British women. We are not far right. We are not racist. We're here to protect our kids. Enough is enough.
Being fed up of that, they had demonstrations on Thursday, which unfortunately turned violent as the police intentionally kind of travelled counter-demonstrators towards the demonstration that was against the Epping Hotel being here in the first place.
So here we have a group of people who actually can form coherent sentences, and then on the other side of the street, they are saying, stand up, fight back, as if they're cheerleaders or something. Okay, that's kind of something I've never seen before, is that the policeman looks like he's vlogging or that he's recording. It sounds like the basic left-wing protesters are against the street, saying the typical kind of pre-scripted quotes. They look like paid protesters. They all have the same exact sign.
Protect our kids!
No, they ain't. They're calling us racist, saying that illegal immigrants should be housed here.
Pedo scum! Or far shapes! Pedo scum!
Oh,
99.90% of them are men.
We're paying serious money living this borough for them to come in, just walk into the borough like it's nothing.
If they're really coming here because they're scared, then why is it only men on the boats? Why is it only working age men on the boats? There's no women and children on the boats.
So, Jack, you're taking off on X. What's that like?
It's great. It's amazing. It's good to see so many interactions, and more than not just me. It's getting the news out about what's happening here, about obviously this hotel becoming an asylum hotel, where obviously the risk is we're going to have people from countries who are so much more likely to sexually assault women and girls. Recently, the government has been bringing in people from Afghanistan who are 22 times more likely than British nationals to actually be convicted for sexual assault in this country. And obviously, this is all being paid for at the behest of the British taxpayer. Recently, we found it was £2 billion it's going to take for the asylum hotels, which over the year is basically the cost of 285,000 people's net contributions over the course of the year, which is the city the size of Newcastle.
Britain is waking up now.
Isn't it funny when you do knife crime, there's no police officers?
Yeah, Britain is waking up.
And there's never any police
I need your
officers
glove.
around.
Yeah, I know, right. I'll be over at literally half past. I'll come off at in literally
That's
5
so
minutes.
ridiculous.
People,
Yeah, they're
and
here
then
to
I'll be
protect
back on, 'cause I've got a
from
bad
you.
job
I mean,
as
you
well.
just look so
And then I'll be
intimidating.
back on, and I'll still be here.
Yeah.
Not at all.
It's a joke.
Have you come all the way from America, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, bless you.
Are you from Devon? Who are you with?
She's come all the way from America, people.
Independent.
I'm a YouTuber.
Yeah, this woman here, all the way from America, journalist.
Well, do you know what? I don't with us. Mine.
Yeah, she's come all the way from America. And if anyone wants to come in the box quickly and tell this woman,
break the system from what it is.
what you want to say into this.
Because it's not being funny.
Jake,
Like
do
in
you want to come
America,
in?
you've got you do your due diligence. Your government does their due diligence. Who they allow in their country. This don't. This don't.
Yeah, I know.
Does its due diligence. They don't do background checks.
Enough is enough.
Enough security checks. Because I'm not being funny. Like our children, like these people that are coming from these particular countries. Are allowed to have sexual intercourse with children as young as 8. As young as 8, and it's disgusting.
Now, the real issue is that if you look normatively in the United Kingdom at demonstrations like this, the police do an incredibly good job at dividing the counter-demonstrators to the demonstrators. But what I mean is that the police are incredibly concerned about public society and cohesion. So it seems like a particular either loaded or an act of incompetence for the police to intentionally have the counter-demonstrators, like Antifa, like Stand Up to Racism, be beside the demonstrators at Epping. This, of course, continued on to Sunday evening, where we had another round of demonstrations. Then on Monday at Dis, where a migrant hotel had been transitioned into a male-only accommodation. So the issue is that these migrant hotels are predominantly comprised of men. These men, being sexually frustrated, unfortunately, kind of can't integrate well with these local communities. Like, for example, I was in Dis the other day. Dis has a OPI hotel for the elderly right next to a child's park. So these two areas are kind of sandwiched in with these migrants that can't really, of course, integrate well. Places like this, places like Aldershot, places like Epping are kind of calling for a national demonstration like this in Canary Wharf. So what's happened at Canary Wharf, ladies and gentlemen, is that in response to Epping, they have now moved from the local hotel model to buying out big corporate chains to kind of send them here. Now, the Britannia Hotel in Canary Wharf is notoriously luxury. Not all chains of the Britannia Hotel are known for its luxury, but this one has a spa and swimming pool. So it's not really the essential form of living that someone that's claiming refuge would kind of need, unfortunately. That's what we're currently seeing right now. And what you've just seen there is a emergency, even though there's no emergency, for people protecting people who are in a hundreds of stories hotel protected by the police. And I think that they're kind of attempting to antagonize the already peaceful demonstrators. People like here have been here since 2 o'clock, and I haven't really seen any outrage so far, so we kind of just need to see what happens from there. But it's just fashionable right now. If we see that coming into the winter time, these demonstrators kind of continue this, I would then make a case that kind of the UK is on a turning point. But right now, protests become popular in summer. That's what we saw in Southport, unfortunately. So I really want to see activism kind of being done out of demonstrations done in the summertime. That's kind of what I have to say.
And how do you think the protests will make a difference?
Well, they already have. There's been cases in Wales of migrant hotels being shut down. Of course, the Epping migrants have been set out of their hotel and moved into here. So if we continually push the Labour government, whose current policy is of appeasement, trying to kind of flip-flop into any type of voting bloc, I do see a potential change, but there needs to be a continuing momentum.
Guys, don't forget to join me every Friday for live Q&As, only available on the Patreon. The link is in the description.
How much money is going on this? While, you know, you have veterans and homeless British people starving on the streets, not getting help, but, you know, you come across the channel or you get imported by the government, you know, you get a free 4-star hotel stay.
Mm-hmm. And today there was, I guess, what they call anti-racist protesters. Do you know what organization they come from?
Yes, they're part of a Stand Up to Racism. They're one of the biggest leftist groups in the country. They regularly organise protests. They've organised a counter-protest in Sunday at Epping, which is where the protest happened last week. They're now organising one on Sunday there. They will often bus in communist, Antifa agitators, and they'll have their signs, and they're very well organised. They're a very well organised group, ready to disrupt any right-wing protest. That's the difference between them and this. This was spontaneous. There's no leader. There's no organisation. It was just, you know, hundreds of people just coming out to voice their concerns about this migrant hotel. Whereas over there, they had ringleaders. They had signs and placards already. They knew all the chants. They're extremely, they're bussed in, but obviously now they've gone. They don't stand here for that long. They just like to get there.
It's like they're off at like 4 and then they leave.
Yes, exactly.
And so what's going to be the topic of conversation with Alex Jones that you're going to be doing tomorrow?
So yes, we're going to be talking about obviously what's been going on here, obviously the migrants in Epping, and probably talking about the wider issues in the country, especially when it comes to mass migration, demographic change, all of that sort of thing.
Yeah. And so one question I have is a lot of people have been discussing the Sharia law and how they're trying to implement that basically worldwide. How does that relate to this? Or does religion tie into this for these migrants, and maybe that's the reason why people are concerned for their kids?
I think some of it, but I don't think it's Islam why Afghans are 22 times more likely to sexually assault. I think it's culture. It's far more something to do with the way they've been brought up. If Afghanistan was a different religion, I think they would still have this, propensity to sexually assault in the same way that they do. I think it's far more something deeply cultural than simply just the surface level beliefs.
Is there any areas here in the UK that have already been basically dominated or taken over by migrants who have been here for a long time?
Well, we're in East London now, and East London was, a very, you had the Cockneys in East London. Now in areas such as Whitechapel, Bow, West Ham, all of these areas, a lot of the locals have been pushed out. Whitechapel especially, if you go to Whitechapel tube station, the sign for the tube station there is in English and in Bengali, for example. So, you go out of Whitechapel tube station and you don't see an English face. There are so many other areas of the country as well, areas in North, Bradford, other areas around around the Manchester Leeds spectrum, which obviously had the Pakistani grooming gangs and rape gangs there. But yeah, certainly in East London, the Cockneys who are here have been forced out, which is why a lot of them moved out to Essex in Epping. And in fact, you had people who would have lived in East London who are now in Epping, who are some of the protesters against this migrant hotel just this last weekend.
What would you say are some misconceptions about what's actually happening here? Misconceptions about the protesters? Anything that's not being reported correctly in mainstream media?
Well, I think generally, of course, they like to tar everybody with the brush of far right. I think a lot of people have said, it's not far right, we're just right. Or, we're just local, normal people, which is true. I don't think it's far right to want your country not to be flooded with millions of strange foreign men who are going to, rape your wives and daughters.
How the f*** are you getting out of London? I'm going to do an exchange to get out of London because of this. They've got all these asylum seekers. Do you think I'm going to get an exchange now? And they're opposite me. I can't afford to live. Get like my children's safety around here. My dad did 35 years in the army for this. Yeah, for this. Exactly. You know what most of the pictures are? Homeless, because they've got post-traumatic stress disorder. What they've seen, a friend blown, the leg's blown off. Yeah. So, I mean, they're in streets. In the freezing cold. We all feel like it. We all feel like that's disgusting.
It's very weird. It's very suspicious that they're okay with spending millions and millions of dollars on asylum seekers or refugees. Again, I'm back here to give you guys a little bit of perspective. You can see the hotel right here and some counter protesters with all the same exact signs with police in front of the protesters, basically in a way blocking off the protesters, protecting them. And then you have a wall of police here in front of the protesters who are against these refugees coming into their countries and putting their families in danger.
I just finished having a coffee on the 38th floor with the most beautiful view I have ever seen. This city is so gorgeous, but back here on the ground, it feels like, man, reality hits me again. But just for anybody who is from London, some things that have surprised me here so far is the buildings, the houses. They're really neat. They look pretty antique and cute, but I'm also surprised by how familiar everything looks and feels. Especially here, they call this like Little Manhattan. And so it's kind of interesting that in New York, they had the Roosevelt Hotel, which has been shut down. So hopefully similar things can happen.
Also, by the way, it doesn't seem like they have shut down Epping, because I was just told by newscasters that when they were there yesterday, there's people going in and out, migrants who are just going to explore the city, and there's still people living there. So I'm not sure if they moved them, or I have a question.
Yeah.
You know, like in Epping, right? There's a migrant hotel.
Yeah.
It's still operating. Did they come here, or?
Yeah, basically what's happening is they're supposed to be closing the Epping Hotel, like the Bell Hotel, and they're supposed to be moving them into this hotel that we're outside now, and they're due here any time now, the next 24 hours.
I've got an 18-year-old daughter.
Come on, say it loud and proud.
And I tell you what, anyone touches her, I will go 25 years for my kids. And I tell you what, I'm very passionate. My kids, my aunties and everyone, we need a safe existence. We need to feel safe in our own environment. I'm not. That's why I'm out here and doing what I'm doing. For the likes of my son that this is our birthright, this is his birthright.
It seems like a big misconception is that it's about race or about skin color.
It's about safety mechanisms.
Yeah.
They need to do maximum security checks. They don't.
Of course.
And also, 99.9% of them are men. Why is that?
Yeah.
Why are they leaving their children?
Why
are they leaving their children and
their
wives at home?
From war-torn countries, and the war-torn countries from the age of 20 to 40. Can you believe that?
Exactly.
You're coming from war-torn countries.
Why isn't this hotel filled with women?
This is what I'm saying. I can't wait to find out
who's looking after their wife and children.
The occupancy of this hotel. I want to know the ratio. I want to know the ratio of male and female, and I guarantee you, it is a 90% ratio.
Wow.
Guarantee you.
Honestly, it is terrible. And the thing is, like, these guys, they've not been, they've come over in boats, none of them have been like vetted coming into the country.
But they're safe in France.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
They've not been vetted coming into the country, and you don't know what they're bringing in with them. Like, they could be loaded with explosive bombs, whatever, we don't know.
So we don't know what their actual criminal records.
Like the villages are burnt to the ground with women and children, and these guys are over here after doing that.
Also, do they not know that they could be employing terrorists to come and to actively active? They've already done it over Canary Wharf once.
They blew it up.
They blew it up once.
Blew up what?
Mill Harbour.
This one was blew up. This one in the 90s.
In the 90s, it was blown up, and now they're moving terrorists in here from war-torn countries.
Do they not know if they're harbouring terrorists? This is what I want to. This is what that.
We're scared.
Security, risk assessment.
We're scared. We're scared for our children.
It it needs to be risk assessed.
Yes.
That's what it is.
scared for that
It's not about race. Listen, I've got a mixed race child. So no, it ain't about that.
We're not
It's about
racist, we're realists.
safety. Exactly.
And these boats that they're coming on, what organization owns the boats,
Okay, listen.
Yeah.
Let's put it into perspective,
government.
right? Let's put it into perspective.
Okay.
To get a flight over
French and
here,
British government.
to get a flight over here from France,
Yeah.
£25.
To get a boat, £5,000.
To get on the dinghy,
£5,000.
which they're going to risk their lives.
For
They've got
£5,000
£5,000 per person.
Who's paying that? The French and British government.
So instead of taking cheap flights, they're getting these really expensive boat rides?
Yeah, because they're not willing to put across their passports. Why is that then? Why is that? Why is that?
We can't say them. We
Why
don't
is
know
that?
who they are.
Because they're coming over and they're £400 a night.
Oh, I didn't realize that this whole thing is the hotel?
Babe,
Yeah.
there's 544 rooms. So you work it right, work out on the ratio, work out on this ratio, right? Say for instance there's 2 people to a room.
Yeah.
Double that.
Yeah.
Double that. That's how many people are going to be coming to here. 3 people. 1650.
And that's just one hotel?
That's one hotel. That hotel group is getting paid 365 billion a year. Work that out in the ratio. £400 a night. But our veterans that have served the country to protect our borders and protect our liberty are homeless. They've got severe PTSD. They've got chronic anxiety. They've got everything.
Yeah.
So they're not protecting our own people.
Yeah.
A little girl on the street in broad daylight.
Wow.
You can research it, read about it. It's insane.
I said the police, they should be standing with us. They're meant to be looking after the community, but they're not, are they? They're standing against us. They think that we're a problem. They think we're far right. But I tell you what, there's no one far right here. The only people I see here are my neighbours. They're the only people I see here because we've had enough. That's it. I wouldn't get on a train and go to something like this. This is around the corner from me, from my children, from my children's school. How am I going to walk the streets with my kids on my own? How am I going to feel safe? I'm not allowed to take a weapon out with me, but as a woman, if you've got 3 men surrounding you, what are you going to be able to do? And I'm here with my children. No, I'm not having it. I'll be here as long as it takes.
Was it true that they were throwing eggs at protesters yesterday?
Yes, I was standing outside the front of the hotel, and to my left, eggs came flying through the windows.
What?
From the illegals. For what reason, I have no idea, but they said something to me. They're here for free, and they're abusing us, throwing eggs, which is, it's not good at all.
There is single parents around here that cannot afford affordable housing and cannot afford to be put in a place or might not be in the situation to. And these people have been put into a hotel straight from immigration and been given a place, been given a 5-star hotel.
Look at the buildings around where them men are going to be looking at little young children, everything. Why are they men? They're not women and children, they're men.
Yeah.
Right, and with children, they've got to shut their curtains with their children running about in knickers and vests. It isn't right.
What do you have to say to people who say that this is racism?
It's not racism. It's not racism. I've got a mark on my arm. I'm half Turkish. I mean, I'm not a racist girl. But the fact of the matter is, we want to keep our children safe. Our children, and my children have got no chance of getting a house in London. She lives away from me, miles away with her first child with anxiety, serious depression and OCD and everything else. The London Borough would not house her. She's moved away now and asked Mummy, my baby's crying, Mummy, this, and she's miles away. She should be around the corner from me. She's worked from 16 years old with mental illnesses, severe depression. Do you know what I mean? And it's miles away from me because the London Borough will not house her. So, yeah, we have got right. We've got every right to sit and be upset. We're paying serious money living in this borough for them to come in, to walk into the borough like it's nothing. Like I said, sometimes I pay my bills. I'm eating beans and toast the rest of the week, the rest of the month to pay my bills. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And then my children are not safe. So come into an area like this,
It's wrong. You've got girls around here that get beat up by their boyfriends, they're single mums, they get put into a hostel that's full of crackheads, and then these lot come here, 4-star hotel. If they're really coming here because they're scared, then why is it only men on the boats? Why is it only working age men on the boats? There's no women and children on the boats, and the women and children are not scared.
Would you tell me more about the boats? What company is it? Is it like small little paddle boats that somebody just makes, or is it an organization? Like, what company or organization is?
I don't know, they're usually just inflatable boats. They come here sitting on the sides of them. They have about 30 of them on a 10-person boat.
Oh, okay.
But the French, we pay 7 billion a year now to France for them to stop this, and they don't. They don't do nothing. They escort them to the English waters and hand them over to our Coast Guard.
The French are just deporting them here.
Basically, they literally escort them to our waters and say it's no problem.
And they escort them over to our waters.
It's fun. I get sleeping till like 5, and I was like, oh fuck. If I don't wake up in the morning, I know I'm going to miss something.
Oh my god.
Wake up, 7:30, check it. Oh, what TV news?
And it's like the government is there, like the police are there, like helping them.
That's it.
That looks like AI.
Don't it? I can confirm it's not. Kind of wish it was.
Well, what they had there was every Carver's birthday. And had like a...
What was it like seeing the people enter the country on the boats?
Oh yeah, that's good. That is a good one. It's quite an eye-opener, I think, because everyone reads about it. You know, you read so much in the press and you read so much in the news, and people are very quick to assume. Actually seeing it in person, being in the water with them, it's quite harrowing. So I find it very insightful.
Make sure you're subscribed. There's a lot of footage that is coming up.